Hey everyone, this is Chris with Castle Wealth Group, and today we're going to talk about the difference between a medical power of attorney and end-of-life decision-making versus a DNR or do not resuscitate. There's a lot of confusion around this, so we're going to talk about it. And if you like this information, make sure to subscribe so you're notified when we have new videos.
Christopher Berry is a leading estate attorney and advisor in the area of retirement and legacy planning. He has been featured in publications such as Forbes, Kiplinger's, Crane's Detroit, and more. He's the host of the weekly radio show and podcast, The Chris Berry Show. He's a national thought leader as it relates to retirement and legacy planning, and has authored the Amazon best-selling book, The Caregiver's Legal Guide.
Question from today from a client, and he was dealing with his mom, who is 94, and in a hospital, in ICU, in a tough position. And one of the things they were talking about was a DNR and how whether she should have a DNR versus a medical power of attorney. And then it started him thinking about his own planning. And one of the things he said was, Chris, I want to make sure that I don't have a DNR because we had done his planning. And I told him that he doesn't have a DNR. What he has is a medical power of attorney. In Michigan, we call this a patient advocate designation. And what this medical power of attorney or patient advocate designation does is it includes what's called end-of-life decision-making. So this is similar to that Terry Schiavo situation, who was a woman down in Florida. She was in a vegetative state. Her husband wanted to remove her from life support. Her family wanted her to remain on life support, and it became a big court battle that lasted over 8 years, all because she did not have a medical power of attorney. Everyone over the age of 18 should have a medical power of attorney. You never know when life's going to throw you a curveball. Terry Schiavo was in her mid-20s when that happened. Now, that's very different than a DNR, or do not resuscitate. A DNR, or do not resuscitate, is a document that says that if you were to have some type of event, like a heart attack, and emergency shows up, they're not going to resuscitate you. Now, there's a lot of issues with DNRs because if you're to call 911, they're probably going to ignore that DNR anyways, because think of it from a liability standpoint. But typically, DNRs are used more in like assisted living or nursing homes versus when you're living at home independently. So not many of our clients have DNRs. Almost all of our clients have medical powers of attorney because you need to create your own rule book of who you're appointing to make medical decisions, and then you need to give some guidance with regards to end-of-life decision making. So hopefully that's helpful, and now you understand the distinction between a do not resuscitate DNR, which is very different than that medical power of attorney. And if you like this information, please make sure to subscribe. This is Chris Berry with Castle Wealth Group. Take care.
Castle Wealth Group has clients across the nation and helps families plan, protect, and preserve what is important by creating a retirement and legacy blueprint.